What if I told you that one of the greatest musicians of all time refused a simple medical procedure that could have saved his life? Bob Marley, the King of Reggae, chose his faith over his future, and it cost him everything. This is the untold story of his final days. Bob Marley wasn't just a musician, he was a movement. But behind the iconic dreadlocks and infectious rhythms lay a tragic story that began with something as innocent as a soccer game and ended with a decision that would shock the world. July 1977. Paris, France. Bob Marley was at the peak of his career, touring Europe with the Wailers. Between shows, he loved playing soccer. It was his escape, his joy, his way of staying connected to his Jamaican roots. During a casual match with friends and band members, something happened, a seemingly minor injury. His right big toe took a hard hit and his toenail came off. Blood, pain, but nothing that seemed serious. Just another sports injury, right? Wrong. When the toe wouldn't heal properly, Bob finally saw a doctor. What they found under that damaged toenail would change everything. It wasn't just an injury. It was acral lentiginous melanoma, a rare and aggressive form of skin cancer that primarily affects people with darker skin tones. The doctors were clear. To stop the cancer from spreading, they needed to amputate his toe. Immediately. But Bob Marley wasn't just any patient. He was a devout Rastafarian, and his faith ran deeper than most people understood. In Rastafarian belief, the body is a temple, sacred and whole. Leviticus 21 verse 5 states, "They shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh." For Bob, amputation wasn't just a medical procedure. It was a violation of his spiritual covenant with Jah, with God himself. He refused. Instead, he agreed to a compromise. Doctors removed only the nail bed and performed a skin graft. They warned him, this might not be enough. The cancer could spread. But Bob believed in natural healing, in the power of faith, and in living according to his principles. His mother, Cedella, begged him to reconsider. His bandmates pleaded. But Bob Marley had made his choice. He would trust in Jah, continue his mission of spreading love and unity through music, and let fate decide the rest. Before we continue with what happened next, subscribe and support our channel. For the next few years, Bob continued as if nothing had changed. He released Exodus in 1977, which Time magazine would later call the greatest album of the 20th century. He performed at the One Love Peace concert in Jamaica in 1978, bringing together rival political leaders in an iconic moment of unity. But beneath the surface, something sinister was happening. The cancer was spreading, silently, aggressively. By 1980, it had metastasized to his lungs, liver, and brain. Bob started experiencing symptoms he couldn't ignore: fatigue, weight loss, dizziness. During a morning jog in Central Park, New York, he collapsed. This time, he couldn't brush it off. Doctors ran tests. The results were devastating. The melanoma had spread throughout his body. Stage 4. Terminal. They gave him weeks, maybe months. But Bob Marley wasn't ready to stop. He had one final tour planned, the Uprising Tour. His last chance to share his message with the world. September 23, 1980. Madison Square Garden, New York City. Bob Marley took the stage for what would become one of his final performances. He was visibly thinner, weaker, but his spirit, unbreakable. He performed Redemption Song with a rawness that brought tears to the audience. The lyrics hit differently now. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. It was as if he knew, as if every word carried the weight of goodbye. His final concert was in Pittsburgh on September 23, 1980. By then, he could barely stand. The cancer had ravaged his body, but he gave everything he had left. When he walked off that stage, he collapsed backstage. The tour was over. Desperate for a miracle, Bob traveled to Germany to seek treatment from Dr. Joseph Issels, a controversial doctor who specialized in alternative cancer therapies. For 8 months, Bob underwent experimental treatments, holistic approaches that aligned more with his beliefs than conventional Western medicine. There were moments of hope, brief improvements, but ultimately, the cancer was too far gone. In May 1981, Bob decided he wanted to go home. Home to Jamaica, to die where he was born, surrounded by his people, his land, his roots. He boarded a plane from Germany, but his body couldn't handle the journey. Mid-flight, his vital organs began failing. The plane made an emergency landing in Miami, Florida. Bob was rushed to Cedars of Lebanon Hospital, now the University of Miami Hospital. His family gathered. His children came to say goodbye. His mother held his hand. On May 11th, 1981, at just 36 years old, Bob Marley took his final breath. But before he passed, he spoke to his son Ziggy one last time. His final words were simple, profound, and heartbreaking. On your way up, take me up. On your way down, don't let me down. A father's last wish. A legend's final message. A reminder that his music, his mission, his spirit, they had to live on. Bob Marley's body was flown back to Jamaica, where he received a state funeral combining elements of Ethiopian orthodoxy and Rastafari tradition. Over 40,000 people lined the streets. The entire nation mourned. Today, Bob Marley's legacy is immortal. His music has sold over 75 million records worldwide. Legend, his greatest hits album, remains the best-selling reggae album of all time. His message of love, unity, and resistance continues to inspire generations. But his death raises a haunting question. What if he had chosen differently? What if faith and medicine had found a way to coexist? Will we have decades more of his genius? If this story moved you, drop a comment below sharing your favorite Bob Marley song and what his music means to you. And don't forget to check out our other videos uncovering the untold stories of music's greatest icons. Until next time, keep the music alive. One love.